Hello, this is Jacqueline. Today I'm wanting to share a little bit of what all my little projects and everything that I've made and stuff, and just a little bit of chit chatting about crocheting and yarn and all that kind of fun stuff. Um, First off, I want to share some new things that are coming up very soon on my YouTube channel. I'm going to be doing some unboxings. Um, Big thanks to Baby Girl Crafton, who is a YouTuber on YouTube, Baby Girl Crafton's channel. I'm newly subscribed to her channel. I really enjoy watching her. She does a lot of unboxings. Um, some of the things that I got the idea of the unboxing was through Mary Maxim. You can go online and they have like several different um, um, unboxing, well, not really unboxing, but craft kit monthly things that you can subscribe to. I did two of them. I did the Crochet Club. Um, First month is $9.99, and then after that it's $12.99. I also started the jewelry one, where that one starts at $6.99 and it's $12.99 after that. So I started those and I'm excited about getting those. The jewelry one is basically you can get a kit that has earrings and necklace, or some of them have earrings, necklace, and a bracelet. So it all depends on that monthly thing that you can do. Also, the crochet one, you get tons, like it's just a gift, a monthly gift, but they give you the ones that I was seeing on Baby Girl's Crafton's channel that she was getting like, these are huge kits. Like, these aren't just cheap, like $10, you get two skeins of this or two whatever of that. It's nothing like those. This is actually like an actual full-size kit. Like, you can make an actual Afghan. They give you enough yarn to make an Afghan. So I was like, oh, this is for $12.99. Holy crap, that's so freaking affordable and cheap. And heck yeah. Heck yeah, I'm all about doing those kind of projects. Not all of them are big like that, but I'm excited. And you know, you don't always have to do that exact project that they suggest for you to do on that, that kit. You can just keep the yarn and make whatever you want out of the yarn that they give you. So, however way you want to do it. So, I'm excited about getting both of those. So, that's in the plan, and I'll be sharing those on my channel. Um, what I've been up to. Well, I've been up to a lot. I have a lot of things that piled up next to me over here that I'm going to be showing you that I have made and that I'm in the middle of still making. I have a few subjects that I'm going to be talking about: saving labels, and when to throw them out, because I'm starting to notice that I'm turning into a label hoarder. A yarn label hoarder, the label that's around a skein. I'm starting to turn into a hoarder and saving them. Even, like, we'll get into that, but that's on the subject for tonight. I'm going to be sharing some of the yarns that I've ordered and got, and just sharing my projects that I've worked on and finished, and maybe add on to, and all that fun stuff. So let me begin. This is what I'm wearing right now. It's a shawl that I made. It's a triangle. Let me pull it out. It's very large size. I really, really love it. Very cozy, comfy. It's perfect for the fall time, but it's just a granny square stitch shawl, and it's got the fringes all along the edge. But yeah. Yep. So that's that. Very cozy. I love it. I love it. I love it. Super soft. I just used regular Red Heart. I think, what did I use? I think it's just, I can't remember the yarn that I used for this, but it's acrylic worsted yarn, I do believe. And so, yeah, four ply yarn I used to make this. So that's that. Project that I'm working on right now, the yarn that I'm using is Burnout Pop. The color that I'm using for this project, where is the name of Paisley Pop. I'm not a huge fan on these colors that I'm using, but this is a fun project. The pattern that I'm using, I'm getting off of Crochet Crowd on YouTube. This was a year or two ago, last year, I don't know, I don't remember what year it is, but every week they would put up some new stitchings or whatever, and they have like a 7 weeks of videos up of doing this project, and it's a square like blankets. It's turning out pretty big. A total of 4 skeins I'm using for this. So far I haven't run out. I'm on my last ball, and these actually, by the way, they come in cakes. If you guys haven't seen this type of yarn yet before, but it comes in a cake. I don't know if you know what the cakes are, but yeah, I don't have one. I ended up rolling that one into a ball because I previously used this yarn for a different project, and I ended up not liking it because it turned out kind of funky looking. So I just ripped it all apart, and I just re-rolled the yarn, and I ended up turning it into this project, which is so much better. This is actually a lot of fun. Really, really detailed. It's a lot of fun. You just let the yarn change on its own. So I'm in the middle of that. Right now I'm on a row where I'm doing a back post stitching, double crochet on this border right now, and it causes this little rib there. So that's what I'm doing right there right now, and that's what these previously right here, those are all back stitching sections right there. So yep, so that's one that I'm working on right now. This is actually going to be gifted to a friend when I'm all done and finished. She really liked it, so I was like, yeah, I'll let you have that one. Because next time when I make it, because I'll probably make it again, I'm just going to use different colors that go with my decor and everything. I like earthy tone colors, greens, mauves, off-whites, just earthy tones. Alright, the other project that I did, this is another, like, it's a nice, decent square lap, just a lap blanket that you would just lay on your lap. It's not like a huge Afghan, but it's a granny square, and I just kept going and going and going with it. But it's not like super huge. Let's see how far that's as big as it gets. I didn't go any bigger than that, so it's perfect for like a baby. This would be perfect as a baby blanket. I was teaching my sister how to make granny squares. And I ended up I just kept going, and I ended up making this as I was teaching her how to do the shells. Yeah, so that's what I was doing with this. So this is something that I made. So that's that. Where do I put this? I'll just sit you there for now. Another thing that I messed around and made, these are just granny squares that I sewn together. They're a mixture of sparkle, as you can see, and some are not sparkle. Some are just solid. And I ran out of one of the other yarns, and it's kind of like It's different, but it's a cowl, and it's supposed to be like a cowl slash hooded cowl. Here, I'll put it on so you guys can see. Take my glasses off first. So it's just like a comfy, cozy cowl, as you can see. And then you just, when you're outside or whatever, it gives you plenty of room to work with in the back, so your neck is still covered in the back. And you just have yourself covered like that. So if it's like a really, really windy, snowy day, this would be perfect for that. So it's a hooded cowl. Super long, as you can see. It's like super long. So it's perfect for that. And it gives you enough room to still keep your neck covered. So when you lift the hood up, it doesn't, you know, your neck area is not open to the cold air when you cover your head. So that's that I made. I need my readers back on. Excuse me, I'm drinking coffee. So I'm going to be burping slightly every once in a while. So I apologize for that. Okay. Next thing, let me just put my project aside. Next thing that I did, this was fun. Oh, by the way, the yarn that I used to make that cowl, I love this yarn. This is the label, metallic. It's a 4-ply yarn, 4 medium, 97% acrylic, 3% metallic polyester. So this yarn was gifted to me from my mom. So my mom was excited that I started crocheting, so she gave me a bunch of yarn. She donated a lot of yarn to me because she know I made a lot of hats that I donated to our local places here that donate to the homeless and people that are in need of winter stuff that can't afford. So yeah, I enjoy doing stuff like that, taking part of the community. I love doing that. It feels good to do that. It feels very rewarding, and I just love helping people that deserve the help. I love helping. So the color of that yarn was razzleberry. This is the label for the other one, and the other one was raspberry, I do believe. So because they were the same identical color, just one was the metallic. Same brand name and everything. So I saved the label on that. So I got those labels. All right. So the other thing that I'm making, this yarn, I made a hat. I had a friend of mine. I made a hat for him. He bought me the yarn to make his hat and all that fun stuff. And when I got the yarn, because he ordered it through Amazon or something, and it's just a guy that knows nothing about knitting. He knows nothing about yarn. He just knows nothing. Amazingly, it was a somewhat 4-ply that should have been a 3-ply yarn. Very cheap yarn. It came in these tiny little skeins. Let me show you an example of the size of the skeins. For a 4-ply yarn, worsted acrylic yarn, it was like the size of a skein. You know how our cotton yarn comes in? This is what that is. This is just the cotton. Same size skein. Okay, and this was the labels. And this was, I don't know how well you can see. That's the label that came on these little yarns. I didn't bring the bag in of the yarns because they're all in little balls now. They came in, it was a pack of all those little ones, and it was like every color in the rainbow, pretty much. And I picked and chose all the masculine colors that he would want in a hat. And it was a simple hat. He didn't want a pom-pom on it or anything like that. He just wanted a simple beanie that covered his ears and his head for the winter while he was at work, because he works at a docking place where they work on boats and stuff. So all that leftover yarn, because it was such cheap yarn, terrible yarn. I hated it. I hated working with it because it split so easily and everything. I just ended up making this like beautiful, very psychedelic, like, and I just kept doing different stitches. This is something that I just made up and kept making up as I went. But eventually, you know, I actually want to, and it's just like random colors. Each row is a different style of stitch. Like I try to get as creative as possible with it. It's pretty cool. Like I got some puff stitching here. I also did some puff stitching right here. Those are puff stitches there. Just different things. Like I did some fan stitches here. Yeah. You can see how they have like a little loopy thing right here that sticks out. I don't know. It looks cool. Yeah. So that's what I use the extra of this yarn because I'm not going to use these little skeins of yarn for anything else because they're not going to go with any other yarns that I normally use because they were so cheap yarn, very thin. So I ended up just using it up and making this. And I'm eventually going to somehow try to frame this or do some stretch it out and frame it somehow someday. I don't know, I'll figure it out. I need to block it, I think, so it lays flat because it does have the tendency to like curl. See how? So I gotta figure out how to like stretch it out and have it lay flat, but I don't know how to. I haven't worked with that yet, so hopefully I can make it work and stretch it out and block it, and hopefully it stays in place after I do that. We will see. Future video on that, and I'll let you know. Maybe I'll do a how to do blocking video, but there's several videos on YouTube on how to do that, but I don't know, maybe it would be fun to do, to watch me try to do it with this. I don't know, an idea. That's just an idea. Let me know in comments if that's something you would want to see. So, okay. So the next thing that I made, this is actually cool. I actually like wearing this. This is super, super warm. This is just a simple cowl. And I did the scrap yarn type thing with it. I didn't use, I just kept intertwined. And this was actually, I used a lot of that cheap yarn to make this because I was trying to get rid of it, honestly. And I'll just put this on so you can see. But it's super colorful. I like it, and it does keep your neck warm. I live in northwestern New York area. Like I'm dead center in between Niagara Falls and Buffalo, New York, okay? I'm dead center. I'm in a little town right in between. And all these towns, they run into each other, so it's not like you know what town you're in when you're driving through them because they change. Just like a block down over the bridge, it's a whole nother town. Like it all runs into each other. So, but this is super comfy. It's cozy. I know I look like I have a stiff neck showing you this, but it is actually comfy. So there's that. Super colorful. I just mixed a lot of, I was just trying to use up that yarn because I'm not going to use it again for anything. I don't want to. But doubling it up and doing like a scrap yarn cowl with it, it turned out really cute. I like it. Very colorful. So I have that as a piece. So I made that. My other thing, this is super chunky yarn. This is just a rectangle like shawl, and it's like a fishnetted, and pretty much all I did was double crocheting, just double crocheting. And it's super thick, as you can see. Like that's one strand of the yarn, super, or no, this is one strand of the yarn, super thick. It's that here, I have the label for it right here, Country Loom Color Burst. This is the label for that. And then, where's my glasses? Ah, there we go. This is a, I want to say it's a 6. It doesn't say on this label, but I do know that it is. It is a chunky. I know that it is. But it's Loops and Threads. I thought it was from Loops and Threads. It is Loops and Threads Company. Okay. Oh, here it is. Here's a better label. I don't know why they had two. I had 6 skeins total. Some of the other skeins, I didn't use all 6 skeins to make this. Did I have 6 skeins of this? No, I had a total of 9 that I purchased, but I had 6 left to work with. That's what it was, or something like that. I think I bought 6 or 8. I think it was 9 total skeins of these that I bought. They were fairly decent. I think they were like $1.99 or $2.99 or something like that. I got them on sale. I do know that. I bought them during the week after Black Friday through Michael's. They had a sale. I think it was like a 30% or 40% off sale. I can't remember the sale that was during that week, but yeah. This is one of the proper labels. They had 2 different labels on the skeins. This was one of them, and it's the same yarn. It was just not all of them had the same labels on them. Why, I don't know. I'm saving these because they do have instructions on a cowl that I did make. I did make this. I'm just not going to show you because it's wrapped in a gift right now. The color of this yarn, blah, 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 blah. It will say here somewhere. There it is. Cream. Soft cream. Super fluffy. This is a nice, cozy, like this could be a summery, just a wraparound blanket because it's so holey. So you get a lot of airflow through it. It's still warm enough to wear also. I have a chip nail. Also to wear in the winter. Be cozy with in the winter. So, color loom first. But it is a super bulky 6. Yeah, it says right there. I don't know how well you can read that. Super bulky 6. The super bulky 6. And yep, that's the label. And it's the color of the yarn here that I use. Yep, so I have that. I made that. And it's just a simple rectangle, nothing more. Oops, my lamp. Nothing more than that. And then it's just something that you can just cozy in your chair while you're watching a movie or Netflixing or whatever you're doing, or reading a book, whatever you're doing, or just crocheting, whatever you're doing. Just something to have nice and cozy wrapped around you. And it is super soft, it's super cozy, it's squishy. So yeah, it's very chunky yarn. And this was, I used a size Q 16mm hook, and that's the size of that. That's the hook that I used to make this. Yeah, super big hook. But yep, so I used that. This is where I keep all my hooks and stuff. Alright, so I made that. Let me just fold that up neatly. I have a few more things to show you that I made. Get you all caught up on how busy my winter has been. I've been very, very crafty and making all kinds of fun things and learning new stitches and stuff. I'm having so much fun doing it. I am obsessed. I am an addict. I am an addict. So I really want to someday in the future be my own boss and have a huge supply of things to sell to people. And I want to just be open to make things and make a profit off of the things that I make. So that's my future plan. So, because I'm getting old and everything, and my body is not taking up the physical work anymore than I do during the summer. Because I have a summer job that's full time, and I work like 60 hours a week at that job all summer long. And I bust my butt at it. Believe me, I work in a kitchen, a seafood restaurant right off of the water here on Niagara River, and I'm in the kitchen only. I'm not waitressing or bartending or anything like that. I am a food prepper. I prep for the chefs, sous chef, I guess you can call me. I run for the chefs. I train for dishwashers. I sometimes dishwash. I take trash out. That's because that's a dishwasher's duty. I have a dirty job, and I'm filthy and smell like fried fish all the time. So it's a job, but I make food. Like I make our artichoke spinach dip. But I make it in big portions because it's a restaurant, and I put them in bins and store them and blah blah blah. Like yeah, it's a lot. It's a fun job. I enjoy it, but when I'm doing the heavier physical stuff, it's taking a toll on my back. So, and I'm getting at the age where I can't do it anymore. But anyways, my future plan is just keep making stuff. And I started learning how to make bags. And this is just a simple, almost like a messenger bag, but I like a long strap hippie bag where you would just put around you like this on your side. It's a very large, wide size bag. And I just used some leftover yarn that my mom had in a bin for me that she gave me. And I just mixed them together. It's very uniquely designly like yarn. But the colors kind of go together. But it's a very decent, nice size, large like tote bag, I guess you could, or a boho bag, I guess you can call it. So, yep, very long strap on it. So, and it has some good stretch on it, so it does go below the waist. Because I am a wide hip girl, thanks to my hereditary. It's hereditary in my family. We all have wide hips, big old butts. What do they like to call it? I shouldn't say it like this, but breeder. I shouldn't say that, but I don't have any children, so I can't say that the case. That's not the case for me. But anyways, that was a term that's been used. All right. Anyways, oh, I got a phone interrupting, and it's nobody. Okay. It's probably a telemarketer that's trying to call me because I don't recognize the number. So I have this clutch that I made. I actually got this pattern off of Bag Day Crochet on YouTube. She has her own channel. She's actually quite popular. I'm sure you guys have seen her. Um, if not, if you're friends with me on Facebook, I share a lot of her videos on Facebook and stuff. And I have quite a few her videos that I used with everything like this actual tutorial of making this is saved on my channel, so you will see that in my list of crocheters videos that I use. You'll see it on that list on my channel. But it's a star puff stitch, and I got a clear button on there. I'm gonna change this button out for something else until I get more buttons. I gotta go to Michael's and get like a big bucket of assortment of buttons, just so I have different buttons. I think you can buy them in buckets. I think I saw a place that sells them in like a buck, like that. I think they do have something like that, but I need to get something like that for me. If not, I'll ask my mom. I go, Mom, I really want a bucket of random buttons. It'd be so perfect for my projects. So it's a nice little clutch. Let me just open it here. I got a little loop there. Super cushiony, super thick. You can see how freaking thick this is. Like, seriously, it feels like memory foam. The yarn that I used for this is actually vintage yarn. I used, this is the label, super vintage. I freaking love it. This was yarn that was donated to me in the bag full of stuff, and I ended up making this beautiful star stitch clutch, purse, hand purse, clutch with the clear button on it. Yeah, can't really see the button. See, yeah, I really want to change out the button for something else, but I just put the clear one on there for now because I really wanted to show, like, you know, the style of how the purse, the clutch and everything works. But super freaking cute. Yeah, it's a nice clutch. So I made that. That's on my little project. But this yarn, it's a 4-ply, 3 ounce. I ended up, to make that, I used 1.5 of the skeins. This is what I have left over from, like, it's super, like, it's almost, I should ball the rest of this up and didn't put this in my scrap yarn. I think that's, I'll eventually do that. I'll ball it up and put it in my scrap yarn bucket. But this is, yeah, that's the yarn that I use to make that. The name, it's off-white color. 100% Monsanto acrylic worsted weight yarn. It's machine washable and dryable. But yeah, super vintage. The pattern for this blanket here is on the other side of this label, so I'm saving this label for that. And this is very vintage. That's another reason why I have to save this. The pattern on this picture here is called Circle in a Square Afghan. So we're going to get into that story about labels here in a second. I have one more thing to show that I made that I'm actually using right now, and it's this purse-like a tote bag, like a market bag. You know, those droopy little market bags, super cute. I did use vintage yarn. I did not have the labels around these yarns. These were donated hand-me-down yarns too. They are vintage. It is vintage yarn though, because I can tell by the feel of it, but I'm going to assume that it's worsted weight yarn because it feels the same as the Windtuck yarn. It feels identical. So, excuse me. And then the other yarn, I just used regular worsted weight yarn too. And it's like a sea moss, sea green. I don't know. I really don't. I don't remember the name of the color because I didn't have a label for this either, for this skein. But this piece here took about almost a full skein. I don't think I had any. I don't think I had. Oh no, it took half. It was a very large size skein actually, so I have this much of a skein left from it. And the middle's not empty because I actually used the out. I couldn't find the end, so I had to use the out of the outer strand on that. I hate it when I have to do that. Don't you guys hate that? That you can't find the end to pull it out? It's a pet peeve of mine. And I'm like, no, I have to use the outside. It's going to tangle every once in a while. And I do. I get tangled every once in a while. I'm like, oh, untangling and everything. It's a pain in the butt for a crocheter. But I do have the pattern saved on my YouTube channel on how to make this. So, and I can't remember the name of the person that made it. I'm sorry, but the video is on there on how I made this. And the colors are pretty much similar that she uses to make this. Super, it was actually easier than what I thought it was. Super cute. Super cute. I made my straps a little thicker than hers because I just wanted them to be more stronger and more sturdier. But yeah, I'm actually currently using this though. I got my wallet, my sunglasses, and my keys and everything in here. So I love it. I think it's super cute. So what else? I have something else that I'm working on here. I don't know what it's gonna end up being. This is the waffle stitch that I learned how to do. I obviously stopped. Ooh, and I didn't save where I last was. I had to put a stitch marker on there. I didn't put a stitch marker on there. I didn't save where I was. I do believe I was using a J hook on this too, because that's what it looks like. Let me just grab a stitch marker for this real quick as I'm talking. But this, yeah, this is a waffle stitch, and I'm just using different shades of blue. I think this was eventually going to turn into just like a really thick scarf. I'm just using up yarn that was donated to me. This is more of the yarn that was donated to me. It's one of those things, you know, practicing stitches. And this waffle stitch is actually easier than what it looks. It's very textured, and it's seriously like a waffle. It's actually pretty cool, and it ends up turning out to be really heavy duty, very thick. So it's actually really it would be a really super warm. Super warm. It's definitely going to keep you warm, depending on what you make with it. I'll just use my purple stitch marker here to add to it. There we go. So I got my stitch marker on there now, so I don't lose my spots. All right. So I got that. So there. Oh, I got a little dust on there. Okay. So that's something that I'm in the middle of working on. I have other projects that I'm working on too. I just didn't grab them all. I didn't have room to grab all of them, so yeah. But I'm excited about this one. This one's actually like the craziest and biggest project that I've ever worked on. So, and I'm actually really proud of how it's turning out, other than me skipping a few steps than what they asked for me to do. I don't listen to instruct. Everything else I did step by step. I'm getting to the point where I'm getting impatient, and I just really want to hurry up and finish this project and give it to my friend. I don't know why I feel impatient. I shouldn't be impatient, because I really want to do this right, but it doesn't look bad. It still looks pretty good. I just missed. I'm supposed to do single crochet in between each of these rows, and I didn't do that. Oh well. You know, it is what it is. I'm not going to run out of yarn as fast when when I get finished with this. I'm almost finished. All I have left out of the 4 skein is this much, and I don't know how many more rows this is actually, because the bigger this gets, the more yarn it uses. So I really don't know how much more. And if I do run out, I do have a color that will go with this to just finish it off. Oh, where is it? Then I'm just going to add to it, because it's got the purples or whatever in it. I'll probably just add this bright purple to it. Yeah, I'll just add this to finish it off. If I run out, it'll look good because it's got a lot of purples and stuff in it. Yeah, and other crazy colors. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the color scheme though, honestly. I mean, they do pop, but it's Bernat Pop. They're supposed to be poppy colors, I guess. And they definitely are. It's different. My friend really likes it. She already seen a part of this project, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, you're doing such a beautiful job." I go, "You want this when I'm finished with it?" She's like, "Yes, I would love that." I was like, "Yeah, you can have it when I'm done." So she's like so happy. I go, "I could. That's the least I can do because you've been such a good friend to me and helped me out with a lot of things. So it's the least I can do for her and gift her back." Okay, so let's get back on a quick subject real here that I'm like so excited to talk about. I don't know about you guys, but I am like I'm becoming a label, um, pattern labels and all that stuff hoarder. I'm starting to save. I'm starting like I'm not even joking. I'm saving all of these. I'm saving them. If they have a pattern on them, I'm saving them. If they're vintage and they don't have a pattern on them, I'm saving them only because they're vintage. Yeah. So I'm gonna go through the ones that I've ordered, and it's not a lot. I promise. It's only this much that I'm showing you. This is what I have saved so far. But I'm guaranteeing you, the more that I purchase yarn and I see a pattern that I don't have yet, I'm gonna save it. Because you know we all go through these moments. Being a crocheter, you know um, how do I put this? Reader's block. A writer, they have a reader's block. They can't think of anything creative to write down for their story. Well, crocheters, we have crocheter's block. Can't think of what project I want to do. I'm bored and I want to do something. I just don't know what creative I want to do. Pull the bag of labels out, go through all the different patterns and see what catches your eye on what you have collected and start making it. That's how you fix a writer's block. That's just an idea on how to fix. It's just one of the ideas on how to fix a crocheter's block. But let me just show you some of these labels that I have. Like some of them are like just so freaking cool because they're so vintage. Like they're from the 80s. A lot of these are from the 80s and maybe the 70s. Some of these yarns. I'm just saying. For one, oh, I actually do have one of those in here. I do. Okay. So you already saw this one, this vintage yarn, my Wind Tuck. You already saw that one. Look at this one. Here's another Wind Tuck one. Look at that label. Look how tiny the writing is on that. Oh, it's so tiny. You need these babies here to be able to read this. This is called the English Tea Striped Cardigan. Look at how vintage that picture is. This hairstyle and everything, you can just tell. This is from Ames. Does Ames still exist? We don't have an Ames around here anymore, I don't think. I'm originally from Ohio, and I remember having an Ames in Ohio. I remember seeing it. I don't know if they exist anymore. I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if Ames still exists. And what is Ames? What kind of store is that? Isn't that a hardware store? I don't know. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. So I have that one. That's a vintage one. This isn't a vintage one, but I have it saved because of this Afghan here. The name of that pattern, America's Ripple Throw is the name of that pattern. So I have that saved. Burnett Pop. I got a granny square. All for one crochet blanket. It's pretty much granny stitches for this blanket here. That's that Burnett Pop. But the pattern is on one of those labels. I saved another one of those labels too for the same thing. It's not the same thing, but a different pattern on it. It's got like a triangular shawl on it instead. So I saved that in case I want to make a shawl. It doesn't have to be Burnett Pop yarn to make these things. So here's another pattern that I saved. This is from a Red Heart Super Saver label. And that's a pattern, a hat pattern that I saved. Super cute. I don't know about the colors so much, but it's a cute hat. Mainstays yarn from Walmart brand. Everyone knows about Walmart brand yarn. But I got that blanket pattern on this here. It's a super easy, oh my god, that's super easy. Rocky Waves Crochet Afghan. That's what the pattern's called on that. It's a very simple, it's a repeating type. Super easy. Here's another vintagey yarn. I have to tape this one together because it did rip completely in half, but it's vintage and it's a V-stitch Afghan. You can partially, let me see if I can put it together. I know I'm really sad that it ripped, but I can tape this back together to where it's readable. Yeah, if you can see it, kind of, yeah, V-stitch. So terrible. Trying to get close up. There we go. V-stitch Afghan. Look at vintage Caron. What is it? Caron Yarn of Plenty. I just love these vintage labels. I can't get over. I can't get over them. I'm obsessed. Here's another one for a baby's blanket. Super freaking cute. Look at that. I'm curious to know how old that little girl in this picture is today. I'm very curious to know. I want to know how old she is. But the name of the pattern of that blanket, Lion Brand Debbie Shire Rainbow Afghan. Super cute. That's a cute baby's blanket. The name of this the color of this yarn was light yellow. I guarantee you that I have some of this yarn still, and the label fell off. I have some of this yarn still stashed away in my yarn, like the whole skein. Guarantee it, because I got tons of the vintage yarn that was given to me, and some of the labels fell off. I have them all stacked in boxes and everything on shelving the best way I can. One of these days I'll show you guys my yarn stash. I mean, it's not crazy a lot, but I'm working on it. I'm working on my stash to be big because I want it to be big. I want every color possible that exists. It's going to take a long time to get there, but because I'm not the richest person. All right, next pattern is this cowl. Pretty easy. I'm sure you can find a pattern similar to this on YouTube if you don't like reading actual patterns and you like watching videos. This particular one is called Paradise Infinity Cowl. So that's the name of this pattern specifically. Alright, so there's that. Here's another vintage label, Wintuck. Look at the lip. I like this blanket. I think it's super cute. Crocheted and smocked Afghan. So that's pretty much the name of this. Super cute. So it's got some smocking on it. Smocking is where it's almost like you make it into like a bow. It's like you squish it together. I do believe that's what it is. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know how else to explain it, but that's what it looks like. That's kind of what it looks like that it's doing. Yeah, like it's like bow tying it in a sense, but you're scrunching it together, like you're pinching it and keeping it. You're sewing it particularly scrunched together in that one particular area of the blanket. That's super cute. I like it. So I'm keeping that. Super vintage. This skein, particularly, the price tag is still on it. Look how old that price tag is, but it says $1.39. Yarn was cheap back then, but I bet it was, to them it was expensive back then. But I wish the prices were like that still today. Don't you? I'm just saying. All right. Here's another one. This is a mainstays. This is just a hat and scarf. Granny stitching. Granny crochet hat and scarf. Yep. And it's a mainstays label. So I got that. Now this came in with a bag of yarn that was donated to me, and it's literally a pot holder shrink pattern. Like literally, I got the whole sheet. This is very vintage because it's starting to turn brown, but it's got everything that I need. Yeah, it shows you how to do everything step by step, and it shows the chart. It has like this chart thing going on and all that fun stuff. So yeah, so I'm saving that in case I ever want to mess around with that. I'm keeping that with my labels because I don't really have a folder set up yet. I'm putting everything in like a clear bag and keeping it together. So here's another vintage. This one is going to be hard to see. It was $1.69 skein. The price tag is still on it. I don't know how well you can see the pattern on that blanket, but that's the blanket. The name of the blanket is Raised Knit Stitch Throw. It's almost like it kind of looks quilted, like little tiny little squares that are puffed up all over the blanket. I don't know how well you can see. Yeah, it's almost kind of quilted looking, like a bedspread type batted. I don't know. I don't know how to explain the look. This is just I wanted to say this because this is actually oh, I just like that it's a vintage label and it just has care instructions on it. No use for me because I don't have this yarn. I just like that the label is vintage. I'm saving it just because of the vintageness of this label. I'm obsessed with vintage labels. I can't let go of them. I think and it doesn't have a pattern on it, and I'm saving it anyways just because it's vintage. Call me crazy. I'm weird. Some of you are probably like, why would you do that? But this was $1.39 skein. Look at this one. Look at that. Clover leaf yarn. It was a candy pink that this label was on. A four-fold. They called it four-fold back then. A four-fold, like super 100% DuPont Orlon acrylic. Like super vintage. Tell me that's not super vintage. That's a cool label to keep. I think it's the coolest thing ever. Here's another one. Red Heart, Windtuck, Craftsman, Klansman sport yarn, 100% Orlon acrylic fiber. Ooh, I actually have, dude, hold up. I actually have this. I'm making some crazy, oh, I should have showed you this with this yarn. I'll actually show you right now real quick. First, I'll show you the skein of this yarn. Super, super old. That's the label. But I'm saving it. I'm saving the label. It does not have a pattern on it. I'm just saving it because it's vintage. So I'm saving that label. But this is the actual yarn. Oh, that's super vintage yarn. Yes. Yes. And it is a 2-ply yarn. Very super, I think it's a 2-ply. Oh my god, I could be wrong. Yes, 2-ply yarn. Super thin. It's super thin. It's super old, but I love it. I love it. Let me show you what I'm trying to attempt to make with it. It's not the prettiest thing because the colors are not the prettiest. It's like browns, bright orange and yellow mixed together. Like it's very, very, very like 70s, 80s, 60s. I don't know when this color was popular. Let me know if you know. But I'm making this like, look how crazy this is. You can't even, like, because the colors are so crazy. But I'm doing a virus shawl stitching with this yarn. And it's like super thin. So this is taking me forever, but I am attempting. Like right now, it just looks like a head covering that you would wear in church. You know how ladies wear. It's not finished yet, but I'm not making a head covering for church. My parents used to make me wear a head covering, lace head coverings, when I used to go to church on Sundays. I don't do that anymore. That's not my thing anymore. But anyways, yes. We would wear head coverings because the woman's hair was holy. That's just, you know, how the church ran. And it was, I would be grounded if I forgot my head covering. If I left it at home, I would be grounded. Like, that's how freaking strict my dad was when it came to things like that. Yes, he's not like that anymore, thank God. He's very laid back now the older that he's gotten. He's somewhat laid back. He's still kind of crazy with his preaching, but he can be pushy with it sometimes, and he's gotten better by holding his tongue on a lot of things. But boy, when he has an opinion about anything political or anything that is pagan mixed in with, like, pagan mixed with Christianity, it that drives him up a wall, and he really speaks his opinion on that. So it's like, come on, Dad, take your negativity somewhere else, please. But anyways, I hate putting my dad down, but you know, his opinion is really negative, and that's but I love my dad very much. So it's just something that I have to live with when it comes to that. But anyways, to get off that subject, vintage yarn. So that's something that I'm working on. I took a long break on making this shawl though, because I'm not gonna lie, working with like a 2-ply yarn, it's very tedious. For me, it's tedious. I got some cotton yarn here. I'm making some washcloths. I do have one that I'm starting to make. It's just a simple washcloth. I got a stitch marker on it to where I left off. But this is going to be a towel. Actually, it's going to be a long towel. So, yep, that's my working yarn. I got my little piece of paper tucked in here and reminding me what hook size to use. So, yep. And then I got my little reminder of my kitchen towel instructions in case I forget the stitches to do. So I saved, everything's saved. Like, always leave little notes and keep them in little baggies or whatever. But right now I have these. Those are some other projects that I totally had sitting here the whole time and I totally forgot to share with you. But back to the vintage labels. I know this is a really long video. Here's another one. This does not have any instructions. The rest of these I don't think have any patterns on them. They're just really vintage looking. I just like sharing these super vintage looking labels. They're like super old. They don't make them like this anymore. I love it. I love it. Check this one out. I think I already showed one similar to this, but it's just the coloring and everything is like, you can so tell that it's outdated. Vintage stockinette stitch. Coats and Clarks. Like, I don't know. It's just, it's cool to me. I love vintage. Look, check that one out. That's a vintage label. What's that say? Knitting worsted Grant Crest. Moth Proof. I've never heard of that brand name before. Has anyone heard of Grant's? You ever heard of that? I've never heard of that. 100% virgin wool. That was in this label. So I don't know if that's mixed in with. I might have some of that yarn still, and this label fell off. Nile green. That was the color. I don't know. I have to look and see if I still have that yarn stashed away somewhere in my stuff. I really don't know if I do. Here's the last vintage one. It still has the price tag on it. This actually has the date stamped up here. 1989. October 1st, 1989. Date stamped right here. Check that out. So that's just a reason why I had to save it, because it actually, you don't always have the date stamped on any of these. And I don't even think they do that they don't do that. So it's cool that I actually have a label. This was Windsor Blue. It's so cool that I have an actual label that has the date stamped on it. Like, that's just exciting to me. This was bought at Ames for $1.29. Red Heart Premier. Like, I don't know. I just find it so freaking cool. This is in pretty good shape for 1989, and it's 2000. We're going on 2019. Like, that's just freaking cool to me. Super fun. So, yeah. I wish I could show you the other projects that I made, but they are Christmas presents, and I really do want to. I have them tucked away and wrapped in their little baggies and everything to be ready to be gifted and everything. So I am not dragging those out and rewrapping them, the tissue paper and everything like that. So I apologize. I do have some extra yarn from them, like I made that one netting blanket type thing. That was one of the yarns that I used for one of the projects. One of my other projects is it was like a lime green color, and I used some of the Premier Home cotton yarns to make a bunch of dish towels and washcloths. So that's going to be like a family exchange type of gift thing that I put together. Just kitchen stuff. It came with two, with the button handle thing and everything. all in one towel. I made those. Two of those are in the gift, and two washcloths. So that's going to be the family exchange. I guess we're going to be playing this game where it's like a special dice game or whatever, and gag gifts and whatever can be involved. But the only way that you can receive a gift, you can play along, but the only way that you receive the gift is if you put a gift in to the game. So I don't know. I've never played it before, but I guess it's supposed to be super fun. And it was a game that was found. I guess my cousin, she found it on Pinterest, and I guess it's supposed to be a super fun. So we're trying a new game this year, a new style of gift exchanging in a fun way, I guess. So I'm looking forward to anything new. I love being around my family. We like having a good time. We love laughing together. So I'm sure it's going to be really fun. So I'm excited to play that. But that's the type of yarn that I use. I got 6 skeins of this because I'm going to be making my color theme in my bathroom are purples. So I'm going to be making my own personal hand towels in my bathroom, and maybe a bathroom scrunchie, what do you call a shower proof thingy out of some of this too. So anyway, we'll see. Like 2 skeins would be a decent sized towel, and then maybe, I don't know how much skeins of these makes one of those bathroom poofy things. So I don't know. But then I got this yarn too that's left over. It's the loopy yarn. I really like it. Pretty greens and blues and different shades of greens. It's pretty. I don't know if there's a pattern on this. I can't remember. I didn't save the other labels to this, and I don't know why I didn't, but at least I have these labels. I think the pattern for this blanket is on here. Freak or two free. Yes, the pattern is on here. So, and it's a blanket. So that's cool. Super pretty. So I got this. It's super soft, squishy. So this is nice yarn. I actually like working with this yarn. A lot of people don't. They think it's hard because it snags or whatever. I don't know. I like using it. I have no problems using it. So, but loops and threads. And I got this off of Michael's website when I ordered these. So I got 2 skeins of these left over. So I can definitely make a project out of these 2 skeins. I think I used 1 skein actually to make a hat and a pom-pom for the hat that I made. So there's actually quite a bit of yarn in these 2 skeins. So I can definitely make like a decent sized scarf or something out of that. A small shawl. You probably make something out of that. Something. I don't know. I'll figure it. Or I could do a purse. I don't know. I'll come up with something creative for that. I don't know. I'm just being creative in my mind right now. So, but anyways, that's all that I have with all the crocheting and everything that I've been doing lately. For now, I'm obsessed with crocheting. I love it. I enjoy it. But yeah, that's all for now that I want to share. So thank you for sitting through this whole hour with me, almost an hour and 10 minutes. I just love sharing and gabbing and talking and yakking, and yeah, hopefully you didn't fall asleep. I know there was a few times where I got really distracted, and I have the tendency to do that. I'm easily distracted. I'm just one of those people, so just bear with me. But thank you for sitting through this, and I hope you had fun hanging out with me. I'd like to see video of you guys of what, share. I love sharing. Share some of the stuff that you're doing, and share yarn, share everything. Share your labels. You were probably really bored with my label sharing, but I'm fascinated with vintage labels and the patterns that are on them, so I'm saving them. Am I the only one that hoards those? Let me know about that too. But anyways, on that note, I'm gonna end this video because it's super long. Thank you for sitting through it. If you watched all the way through, congrats to you. Congratulations if you sat through this whole video. Congratulations, you win nothing for today. You win a smile. All right. Thanks again for watching, and I hope that you have a marvelous and beautiful day. Happy holidays and Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Bye for now.